Live from the westernunion.com VIP Lounge.
Super excited to welcome a brand new star artist into the lounge here. Ben Rector. Dude, I always say brand new artist, but how long have you been doing music? Let's just start there.
Well, I've been doing music professionally for 10 years.
Okay.
You're a young guy too.
Yeah,
Can I say you're under 30?
Right, just barely.
Are you scared of the big 3-0?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I've never pulled off the like super cool whatever, and so if I'm 30, I'm just like, yeah, I'm 30.
I don't know if guys act different, because for women, I'm like, oh my God, it's another, like it's an end of an era, then it's all symbolic, but do guys care?
I think some people do. I mean, I care a little bit. I've thought about it, but I'm not like dreading it.
I'm in my 40s, but mentally I always feel perpetually about 25 or 26, and it annoys the heck out of some people. Like my wife's like, would you just please scroll up a little bit?
I was going to raise my hand right now.
I know you were.
Me too. Me too.
I thought about you at that moment.
Anyway.
We're stoked to have you here. The show's going to be awesome. It's tonight at the Fillmore. Yep. One of my favorite stars, Gavin James, is opening up for you. How has the tour been thus far? It's only been a couple of dates, hasn't it?
Well, so it's a little weird. So we've been out for a couple weeks, but this is Gavin's first show with us. So it's like my buddy Mark Sibilia, who is awesome. You should check out his music. He's great. He's been out, and then Gavin's going to do, I think, the next maybe like 5 or 6 shows with us.
Right.
But he seems awesome. I haven't gotten to meet him yet.
He literally just flew in from England like yesterday. He did one of those things where he posted the route. And he's like, I'll see you soon, SF. And it was like from somewhere in England, and he just went whoop, all the way to San Francisco. Yeah. Where is the road taking you thus far? Portland, Seattle?
Right. So we did those two, and then before that we started in Georgia and basically just like made our way from Georgia over. And so I did the first leg of this tour in the fall, and so we hit kind of like the eastern half of the United States, most of the A markets. That's not a comment on how cool the cities are, just that's what you refer to them as. Right. And then some of the B markets coming over. So we started maybe 2 weeks ago, or maybe a little more than that, and so we just came all the way here.
I was legitimately worried for you this weekend because it was so rainy, and I was like, oh my gosh, I hope Ben's going to be okay.
Well, thankfully, on the bus, you don't, we drove through from Denver. We played in Denver, then we played in Salt Lake, and our bus driver, who's super kind, Kevlar, if you're listening, you're doing a great job. But we got to Salt Lake, and he was like, I'm usually the first one up, and I talked with him for a little while, and he was like, you missed a blizzard, and I was like, oh man. And so you sleep, the way it works is you sleep at night, they drive, and you wake up.
Right.
And he was like, still driving, he was like, I'll show you some pictures, and I was just like, oh. I wanted to be like, oh, Kevlar, I wish you'd just taken mental pictures.
Pictures in the blizzard while driving.
Yes. I'm glad I wasn't awake for that, but now knowing like you were driving, like, and he's like flipping through pictures on his phone. It's like,
he like live streamed it.
Don't do this.
By the way, his name is Kevlar?
Well, sorry.
Like the bulletproof vest?
Well, his name is Kevin, and he gave himself the nickname.
Oh, yeah, he did.
By the way, this is totally random, but today we learned is National Napping Day. So
really?
I don't know if you get breaks. Are you a napper? Because he's a 20-minute napper, and I'm a 4-hour napper.
I have a toddler. Enough said.
Yeah, I was going to say that's what so the guys in the band have kids, and I do not have kids yet, but they're all. I have trouble sleeping sometimes, and if I fall asleep during the day, like I cannot fall asleep that night, and all the guys with kids are like, just wait till you have kids.
Oh, I would kill for a nap right now. Like, not even kidding.
We can work that out.
I'm trying to work out, like, the time it takes me to get home. Can I add 20 minutes and go fall asleep in a Chase Bank parking lot or something? Because awesome. The worst feeling in the world, once you have kids, if you're planning to have kids, but the worst feeling in the world is, like, your baby's been down, you feel like she's going to have a fat nap, and then you put your head down on the couch, and then 2 seconds later, come get me. No, kids don't care.
Yeah.
They do not care.
Yeah.
I was stalking you earlier on Twitter.
Great.
Because that's what we do when we prep. And I just really...
Your tweets really make us
started
laugh.
laughing.
They're really funny.
And
I'm so glad.
I know you put effort into them because you tweeted when you guys went on was it the Today Show? Mm-hmm. When you went on the Today Show and you said, I've been trying to think of something witty to tweet that involves the words today and tomorrow. And the tweet just became, I'll be on today, tomorrow. And I kept reading, and so I pulled up some of my faves. Now that I'm fangirling out,
he got into it.
Honestly, this is strong research. I feel like usually people are like, "Your name is Ben."
But also this is strong tweeting. Check this one out.
I'm nervous about this.
Uber driver just asked if the Razor scooter I purchased and put in his trunk was a present for my kid. No, I said present for me. Silence.
That happened verbatim. That was in Boise.
Yeah.
We had a day off in Boise, and he was so nice. And he was like, "Oh, present for the kid?" And I was like, "Nope, present for me." And he was just like,
All right.
and I didn't have the heart to be like, "Oh yeah, I kind of like scooting around." I was just like, "Whatever, man. Let's go to the hotel."
One of my new features on Twitter is the Twitter poll.
Yes.
So this is a Ben Rector Twitter poll. Please vote for what you consider to be their favorite Girl Scout cookie. The choices were Thin Mints, Cold Thin Mints, or other Thin Mints. And Cold Thin Mints won by a landslide. I had no idea this was a thing.
Well, I didn't know other people did that. My dad always would buy, not an exaggeration, a case of Thin Mints, and then he'd put them in the freezer, and that's how we always ate them. And I thought maybe we were the only people that did that, but I guess not.
62% of Ben Rector fans enjoy the Cold Thin Mints. Last one. Saw a guy at the gym with the same shoes as me. He looked like a really cool dude, so I'm feeling pretty good about my shoes right now.
Well, so the reason I tweeted that was usually what happens is if I see someone who has like an item of clothing that I do, more often than not, I'm like, you don't seem like super cool, and we have the same shirt. And this guy had my exact shoes, these shoes, and I was just like, he looks awesome. I wanted to be like, cool shoes, man, but I didn't.
That reminds me of one of my life rules. You can never tell a woman she looks like another woman unless that other woman is famous and hot. That's
a great rule.
That's a
I
life
agree
rule
with
right
that.
there.
Excellent rule.
The shoe thing made me think of something we were talking about on the air the other day.
Yeah, I have a crush at the gym, and he always has headphones on, and I
Right.
don't know. Someone said, "Well, just walk up to him." I'm like, can you talk to someone w's wearing headphones?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I say no.
I asked the girls beforehand; they all said no.
How do we do it though?
It's an awkward thing, right? If they're in the zone, you can't bother them.
I mean, I think it's 50-50 because he might just be like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" Or he might be really startled. Like if someone came up to me at the gym, I'd be
wanna
terrified.
startle
I'd just be like,
That's what I said. Terrified.
wanna
Can't
be
go to that gym anymore.
I can't be a creeper.
Well, usually, if I ever see a friend at the gym, so we have these in-ear monitors that you use, which are like, use them for stage. Basically, what happens is someone has to like pour goop into your ears, and they make a mold of it.
Oh.
And then they send it off to this company that puts like a headphone in that shape, so you protect your hearing and can also hear on stage. So I have an old pair that I wear in the gym because normal headphones don't stay on my ears. I don't know why. So you can't hear anything if you're wearing them. And so by the time someone gets my attention at the gym, they're shouting, and then I take the ears out and everyone is staring at me. So I'm a bad person to ask about that, because if you saw me at the gym, by the time you got my attention, everybody in the gym would be like, "Shut up."
What about this though? One of the listeners a couple of weeks ago commented that Sandy should go compliment on his shoes because people at the gym are into their shoes.
You know what you could do to take this full circle? You could get those shoes.
Oh, ridiculous!
No.
And then you could be
No.
like, "Whoa, crazy, we have the same shoes."
Dude doesn't know my name. I've never approached him, but all of a sudden, oh my gosh, we have the same Nikes. That's crazy.
I mean, I'd say unless he's listening, I think that's a great approach. But if he is listening,
I'll
this is not
consider
gonna-
it.
not
I'll
gonna be good.
consider it. So you're going to be at the Fillmore tonight.
Yes.
Have you ever performed at the Fillmore?
I have.
Okay, beautiful venue.
Super cool. It's
One of the
awesome.
best.
Yep.
I love that place. I'm a stand-up comic, and I had one of the worst gigs of my life last weekend. I performed in a living room, and my punchlines got interrupted by dogs barking. So my question for you is: are there any gigs that stand out as being one of the worst gigs ever?
Yes. I played in Fargo one time.
Period.
Period. That's it. No, that would be rude. And so basically, I've been independent for a long time, and so my career is kind of weird because I don't have a ton of like mainstream name recognition, but the people that are excited about it historically have been like really excited about it. So for the last couple years, the shows have gone better than I thought they would, and usually people are super engaged. And so I went to play a college show in Fargo that they wanted us to bring the full band to. We couldn't, so we went as a duo, and we found out when we got there, and this doesn't usually happen, hasn't happened for a long time, but we didn't know there was another band opening, and it was a student rap group with the lead singer dressed in a bear costume. And so that kind of took me back to like my college days. So then I was like, oh wow, this is a little bit weirder than I thought it was going to be.
In SF, we call that Tuesday night.
Right.
Yeah.
So we got on stage, and by the time everybody got there, we found out that it was like a themed concert, and everyone was wearing like over-the-top American stuff, and they were all they had a really good time beforehand, and so it was a large, really big, echoey room, and so like me and the guy that plays with me a lot named Cody are just like, okay, well, you know what, like we're gonna do our job, just like, you know, we'll get through
Power
this.
through it.
Right. And it was humbling because like it hadn't been like that kind of for a long time. It was like, oh, remember this.
Right.
So we're playing, and this guy in the middle of the song, and I say this, I'm not looking for like, oh, dang. Like I felt, honestly, it hit me just as funny because I was like, wow, this is such a strong experience. Midway through one of the songs, and no one else heard him because everyone was so loud, we're playing, and this guy's just like, you suck. And Cody and I are looking at each other just like dying, just like, this is tough. This is really tough.
It was the bear?
No,
Did
it
the
wasn't.
bear
It
yell at
wasn't.
you?
It wasn't the bear.
I thought
It was just a guy with a patriotic bandana.
Oh, okay. That would have been even worse.
I know. But so I think that's probably the worst show that I've ever played.
Yeah. Okay.
So your wife is on the road with you.
She's actually not. She's just here today.
Just today.
Aw.
She
Never-
just won a free trip to San Francisco?
pretty much.
Is that the deal?
Yeah. No, this is the halfway point of the tour.
Uh-huh.
So she was like, "Well, I want to come out and say hey." And I was like, "Come to San Francisco."
Oh, how cute.
Yeah.
And I love, by the way, your compilation video, the fan compilation. If you guys haven't seen it for brand new, is the coolest video.
Yeah, my manager, so she's talking about, we did a contest for people to do like a lip sync video, and I'm usually pessimistic about things in general. I feel like people sometimes misread that as me not being confident. I'm definitely confident in what I do. I'm just like not the guy that's like, we're going to get 1 million subscriptions? Submissions.
Okay.
So we did this thing, and I was nervous that there weren't going to be that many people do it because Yahoo and Live Nation sponsored it to put on like a live stream at whoever won's place. And so by the time we announced it, there was only 4 days for people to enter. So we ended up, like the first day, I think they got like, and I had to do some press for the record, and so I wasn't able to like watch them come in. And so the first day, I think we got like 5, and I was like, oh, that's great. Like, this is great. People like put a little bit of work into this. Someone entered. And the next day we got like 90, and I was like, oh, that's kind of a lot. And the next day we got like 200.
Wow.
And so people went to such unbelievable like lengths. Like people were like, we broke into this stadium and hooked up the Jumbotron and like put the video on the Jumbotron.
You're like, I don't want to know.
Yeah, or people like, we dumpster dove for all these couches and got 150 people in this video. And so it quickly went from being like, oh, this is kind of cool, to immediately I felt awful because I was just like, these people went to so much trouble, and my wife and I were watching the videos, and she was like, you have to go to all these people's houses, and I was like, I know. So it ended up being a great success, but something I probably won't do again because I still feel bad that people
Too
put so much
stressful.
time into it. Yeah. And I think like a normal person would just be like, that's great, well, you guys tried, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry.
You care too much.
How did you
too
do
much.
this?
I'm sorry you
Yeah.
dumpster dove for
Yeah,
me.
exactly. Yeah.
It's a great video, though. And you are at the Fillmore tonight and right in the middle of your tour. So thank you for stopping by.
Absolutely.
love it,
Thanks
man.
for having me.
New album is called Brand New. Ben Rector, everybody. Thanks again, dude.
Thank you, Ben.
Thanks for having me.